Hello, it's Eric here with Master Tool Repair. Today we're going to explain how to maintenance your air compressor. This is a very standard portable oil bath direct drive compressor. Just going to mention some points about maintaining the compressor so you don't have a failure in the future that will put you down. Downtime is money, so obviously I want to go over a few things here. Here we have your motor pump assembly. This is your oil bath pump, and of course is a direct drive unit. It's always recommended to keep the filter clean and keep the oil changed out with clean oil as well. The biggest thing that can happen is run low on oil. Most severe problem, it can freeze up and your pump is out, and of course that's a good $200–300 right there. So most important thing, always keep that oil level in check. Here we have actually a sight glass, which actually shows you how much oil is in the unit. Typically, if you have a sight glass, oil level should be halfway up the sight glass. Usually there's a little red dot on the oil sight, and it should be right at that red dot and not below it. We do recommend to use compressor oil. This is 30 weight non-detergent oil. All compressor oil is non-detergent, and this is a good straight 30 weight compressor oil certainly. If you use detergent oil, then it can foam up and it won't lubricate the compressor components correctly like it should. So definitely do not use detergent oil. That can damage the pump. This is a good 30 weight non-detergent compressor oil. The filter, it goes hand in hand with the filter. Certainly keep this guy clean. You'll see it on the side of the pump there. Usually they'll have a replaceable element. Sometimes just the entire assembly is replaceable. Here's a half-inch filter, very typical type of filter. This threads right into the head. Make sure this is clean. You want to make sure you definitely change out the oil and the filter together, usually every 3 to 4 months. If you do use it frequently on the job site, you're making money with it and use it all the time, got to keep it in good shape. So usually 3 to 4 months, change the oil and the air filter on the pump. If you use it every now and then, say for home use, you can get away with say once a year or so, if you use it infrequently, I would say. Also, the drain cock on the bottom of the tank, make sure you do replace the drain valve. Certainly you'll have moisture buildup in the tank, and that can cause it to rust. Once that happens, pretty much nothing you can do. You cannot weld the tanks, the metal's too thin. So very important to do after every extended use. Go ahead and take off, or remove rather, just this thumb screw drain valve, and of course drain the tanks completely. Drier weather, you don't have a whole lot of moisture buildup, but you will have some. In more humid, heavy areas, certainly you will have a lot more moisture in the tanks. So after every extended use, certainly, undo the drain cocks in the bottom of the tank and release that moisture, certainly. Some other issues, if you have a leaky, say, regulator, that is a very common problem. Say if you get air in the tanks and your regulator leaks, you simply, typically you can buy a repair kit, which will repair the diaphragm, replace the small valves inside, springs, diaphragms inside the regulator. Some compressors only offer an entire kit, including the manifold and the entire regulator assembly. So if this leaks at all, replace it. Make sure your gauges are in good shape. Make sure that you can regulate the regulator from 0 pressure up to the maximum and anywhere in between. You should be able to, and your gauge should read that dynamically when you change the regulator, gauge left or right. So that's something certainly keep concerned about. And every now and then do a soapy water test possibly. If you have any air leaks, obviously that can cause loss of pressure. So you can do a soapy water test to find out where exactly the leak is. So those are very common issues. Also the safety valve and the pressure switch, all these fittings and the bleeder valve in the switch, make sure you have no leaks there whatsoever. Make sure you have no back pressure. The unit should hold pressure when it shuts off. It should not bleed any excess air or leak after it shuts off. If so, then you might have a bad check valve problem, check valve in the tank. So those are basic maintenance key points. If you have any questions, you can certainly contact the sales rep by calling in at Master Tool Repair or visit www.mastertoolrepair.com, and we'll be able to help you out further. Thanks again for watching.